Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mr. Pick Me and the Manhater podcast. I am Regan, aka the Manhater, even though I don't hate men, and this is
Chesko, aka Mr. Pick Me, who's already been picked. And I just want to say, Reagan, thank you for being a friend.
Why do you only do visual pranks? I need everyone to know. Right now, I'm looking at B. Arthur as a finger puppet. I don't know the grandma's name.
Estelle, I think it's Estelle.
Estelle.
Is Blanche.
There's Blanche.
And here's Rose.
And there's Rose, my cutie little patootie, Betty White, R.I.P.
These are our co-hosts for the day.
Last week, you did a prank that no one could hear because the Zoom call filtered it out.
That was so upsetting watching how stupid I looked.
And now you've done another visual prank that no one can see.
I bought 4 like different audio little thingies, like toys, and realizing I can't use them for anything now.
You have to just put them directly on the mic.
I don't know. I did that.
I honestly thought we had this one. I really felt like we were going to make it through, and then
I said the words.
Golden Girls finger puppets came into frame.
Great. Aren't these great though?
They're very cute. I love
them.
them.
That does not look like Betty White.
Yeah, that looks like someone who's been Joker-fied. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Like when they mess with their face.
Estelle's pretty good.
Estelle, that does look like her. Again, we're describing things they cannot see.
Yes. Great audio podcast.
If you'd like to see the puppets, go to the YouTube version of this show. We'll move past it now. Speaking of random things, today's episode is going to be random videos, articles, things we've heard about that we want to talk about. It's going to be whatever we've come across the past couple weeks because we have lots of thoughts on lots of things, right, Chesko?
Yes, we have a grab bag of things to a virtual smorgasbord. Smorgasbord. I don't think I'm going to like the smorgasbord. Turns out I did love the smorgasbord.
Do the theme song.
You want bad advice, man? I'll give it out gladly. I got some good advice for you. No, you don't. Like, no, you don't. I got some good advice for you. No, you don't. Like, no, you don't. Shit.
This is gonna be a wreck.
I'm moving to a new house this week, audience, and Reagan's life is just a mess, and so it's. So the combination of those two things is...
Let me tell you.
Great.
I was going to talk about this on the pre-show and I forgot. I have a migraine right now. I had a migraine all of yesterday. Somehow, I have a Kia Telluride, which it's supposed to be impossible to lock your keys in the car. Okay? I get up to take my daughter to a field trip, which means I have to be there by a certain time in order to catch the bus. Okay. I go out there. Somehow my keys are locked in my car. Our best guess, the night before, my wife had her keys in her hand and then my daughter was messing with them and then they dropped and slammed and hit the ground. We think somehow it locked that way. So I can't get to anything. I can't get to my keys. I can't get to my purse. I can't get, like, I had a medical document that I had to get filled out at a doctor's appointment that day for her to get into school that I had put in my purse so I couldn't forget it. It is now locked also in the car. So I have to get in this car. It's way before, like, any of the businesses are open. I'm making, like, no, I lied. My wife made these calls because I was having a full speed come apart. My mom helps me get my daughter to school. Luckily, we had an extra car seat. And then, like, I am so, like, my migraine is so bad that, like, I genuinely think the guy was worried for me when he came to unlock the car. Because he was asking me questions about the car. What he was asking was, is there a handle on the inside that he can, like, jimmy to open it, right? I didn't understand a word of that. And I just stared at him blankly. And he goes, is this a new car? I was like, no. Can you say that again? I have no idea what you just said. He was like, yikes. It ended up being, want to guess, Chesko, what my bill was?
$1 million.
$326.
Oh,
yep.
Just to open the car?
Yes. Yes, because So I'm already stressed. I can't see. I can't. Everything's my brain is starting to like compress. Everything's terrible. And then he's like, that'll be $326.
Oof.
Well, hopefully the insurance is supposed to reimburse. Hopefully. But it wasn't a good day.
No.
Wasn't a good day for me.
I just a car related thing to make you feel less dumb.
Thank
I
you.
also
Oh, should I feel dumb?
No, you implied that. I think
Did
you did.
I?
I feel like you did. Maybe I was thinking if I did something that silly that I would feel that way.
I love that you changed dumb to silly real quick.
I know. I don't like saying the word dumb, and I apologize. I think it's mean.
I'm just getting bullied on my own podcast.
I know. Okay, so I did
Change the
something.
subject.
The whole point was me sharing a
Okay, go.
similar silly story about my car. So my car yells at you when you have because it has the remote thing where you don't like. And so like when I get out of the car, if it's on or whatever, it goes like beep 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 beep. And I still just walked away from it like.
What's wrong with my car?
It left my car running in the driveway for like 4 hours. Went outside for something completely unrelated. I was like, is my car on?
When he mind you, okay, like I said, I had a migraine, right? So every noise, every light, everything's horrible. He unlocks it immediately. The car alarm starts going off.
Of course.
It's the loudest. And he just jumps out of the car and walks away. I was like, ah! So I'm just like, my migraine is like, I'm dying. I'm just trying to find my key fob to turn this shit off.
Twitching in the...
Yes. Yeah, like I felt like Raiders of the Lost Ark, like when they open it and they're just getting their face melted off. That's how I felt with this car alarm. But I did find it. But the speed with which this guy, he was young. He looked like 16. I don't know how old he was, but he jumped out of that car, was like, good luck. And then he gave me a huge bill. And then he's like, he goes, hey, by the way, like they employ me like as a, like they what do they call that when he's like a contractor for them. Yeah. And he's like, next time, here's my card. I'll do it for $80. I was like, okay. Okay. Well, could have used that before.
Yeah.
But I will take your card for next time if it happens again. Oh, God. Anywho. Well, so my life is a mess. To be fair, I can't see very well right now.
That's why people follow us and listen to us.
Our lives are a mess.
To feel better about their own lives.
You know what? Maybe so. Can't get much worse than yesterday. I was in the depths of hell. And I had to go to a doctor's office with my child with a full migraine. And I was like, I can't. I'm dying.
How many times have you locked your key in your car in your life?
Not that many.
I've done so many. I have I ended up getting AAA when I was younger because of the amount of times that I would just leave my car in there, and like my old car was just like, and I had a car at one point that after like 5 minutes the doors locked itself.
Oh, that's nice.
And so that's what screwed me up several times because I would just turn off the car. I don't know what it is with me and keys though. I'm much better now. Like the second I get out of the car, I'm like, keys, wallet, phone, okay, headphones.
Oh God, yeah.
Anywho. Yeah.
Okay, so what do we want to start with?
What do we want to start with?
So I've been seeing a lot of like plane etiquette things.
Okay.
Like, did you see the one where the young man, he looked like in his 20s maybe, he bought a $300 seat, and basically this mom was just like, oh, like, sorry, we sat our child in your seat, and like didn't ask him, was incredibly rude to him, and he was like, I don't care about your kid, I don't care about any of that, because it was like, I am obviously all about kids. I have one, and I'm about having patience and kindness with kids on plane rides. Like I'm all about it. I don't think you should think that you have the right to take someone's $300 seat.
Right.
Just cause.
Right.
And not ask.
But it's not like, sorry, nothing we can do about it. You're sitting down in a plane. You have plenty of things
Get
you can
up.
do about it.
And they were, so Yeah, hold on. His quote is, "I don't care about your daughter, your child, none of that. I paid for this seat. I don't care about none of that." And he's like, just packing stuff. And I'm like, honestly, more power to this guy.
Yeah.
Apparently they were rude, but
there's a difference between like a situation where something happened and
sure.
versus like you being like using your child to try to take advantage of a situation, which I feel like that's what it sounds like.
Right.
That kind of situation.
I agree. So that got me on like plain talk. I don't know. And so there's this woman who is eating tuna on a plane. And her caption is, "They ate fast food at gate 14, but have the audacity to judge your protein on the plane. Eat, period, tuna. Pack the protein, ignore the looks. Prioritize health, even mid-flight." Just off of that, how do you feel about that attitude?
I think too many people do not give a fuck about anybody around them or about how their actions have on the people around them. With so many situations like this, I am constantly, and to be fair, I'm the extreme, the opposite way, to a point where I harm myself, where
Same.
like, where I'm so worried about something I'm doing is going to make somebody else's life worse. This is so I think that's why it annoys me so much more, because of how much time I spend thinking about the comfort of others around me, especially in a confined place like an airplane.
Yeah, that was okay. So I have additional detail I will give you in a minute, but just right off the bat, the attitude from this person, because one, it's not even just that she does not give a shit about how other people experience the plane. You're in a tiny container where the air refilters itself, like, and you are bringing the stinkiest of foods. Like, I think if you polled people at large, like fish from a can would be at near the top, right? Of stinky smells one could eat. But it's also the caption, "They ate fast food at gate 14, but have the audacity to judge your protein." Like the entitled judgment of like, "Oh, they're just yucky people who eat fast food. They're poor fast food eaters. Gross."
Ew.
Like, why are you hating on people? But two, why are you assuming that everybody who hates the smell of tuna is eating fast food? Like, where did you get that? Like, it's like health versus non-health. Hey, tuna's stinky. Like, period. On a flight, there could be the healthiest person alive. They might not want to be sitting next to someone eating tuna out of a can. I have worked with, I think I've discussed this before, a bodybuilder who we were actors, but he also did that. And this man would eat tuna out of a can and breathe and I was like, I want to scream. Did I scream? No. Did I even mention it? No. No.
It's the same reason why before I head to an airport, I always apply some fresh deodorant. Right? I don't want to.
Right.
If you're in an enclosed tube with people, if you're in a people tube, then I think it's common decency to at least consider. Sometimes there's something beyond your control. You know, sometimes there are things that you just can't do. When I was traveling with my baby and he pooped
all over your shirt,
but I also felt bad about it. Right?
You were like, "Screw you, Burger King eaters!
All of you people, yeah. Yeah. I want to see what your poop looks like when you're sitting on an airplane." Right? I felt bad that I was covered in shit, and the airplane now smelled like shit as a result of it. Now, if people are being mean to me about it, fuck them. Like, I wasn't purposefully doing that, but I think it's the idea. I think we've lost. It does feel like our culture, a semblance of, and I'm the last person that's like you have to act a certain way, do a certain thing. But like, I think at least be cognizant and do your best to consider the fact that the world does not revolve around you.
I think it's also the fuck you attitude of it all. Like, it's very aggressive. Like, you're saying that anybody who has a problem just eats fast food. And like, you could eat your snack and still understand, like, oh, this probably doesn't smell great. Maybe understand maybe there's a different snack, or at least have an awareness. But this is like, oh, I know my stuff smells bad. I don't even care. Okay, but Chesko,
Yeah.
like, my thought was like, oh my God, she's probably, people hate her on flights. Like, she's, I'd hate to be the flight attendant with this chick. That would be a false assumption. Okay, because listen to what she says. Pack the protein, ignore the looks, prioritize health, even mid-flight. So she's saying, I will open this tuna on the middle of flight because fueling my body with real food doesn't stop at the jet bridge. I'm the flight attendant, unapologetically eating tuna in the back galley. Not because I love the smell, but because I love my health more. So she's the freaking flight attendant. So she's putting everybody at the flight everybody that's flying with her is dealing with this tuna smell. But also she thinks it smells bad.
Yeah. She's so it's not even like an innocent, like, oh God, I didn't even think about this. I'm so sorry. She's like, you're going in there with also like, and I don't know enough about flight attendants to know when they have time to eat and things like that, but like I know, like, if I've been on unless I'm on like a cross country flight,
Right.
Most flights are 2 to 4 hours, right? I can go 2 to 4 hours without. It's not like that protein is like, unless I have a specific medical condition, that's not what we're talking about, right? If I can go 2 to 4 hours and if I know the thing I really want for my body is going to ruin the experience of 2 to 4 hours for everyone else, then I can wait a couple hours to eat that thing.
Just eat something else. There's so many other food options. There's so many other ways to get protein. Okay, but she continues. Traveling doesn't mean ditching your standards. It's actually where they matter the most. My job takes me across time zones, but I still make space for clean eating, real ingredients, and protein that fuels, not just fills. So yes, I brought the tuna. And if it makes someone wrinkle their nose, I'll be over here hitting my goals when they hit the fast food line. Your body deserves better, even at 30,000 feet. Hashtag clean in the clouds. Hashtag flight attendant fuel. Hashtag tuna with confidence. Hashtag prioritize health. Hashtag protein packer. What is with this, like, piss poor attitude towards other people? The disdain, like, why does she think everyone who's anti-tuna on a plane eats fast food? Like, what are you talking about? You're making this like an issue of health versus, like, health and wellness versus, like, what? Fast food consumption rather than, like, stinky, smelly tuna.
My one thing I will say in defense of her, it's going to be
God.
shocking, is that, man, if I was a flight attendant and had to deal with people like I see on planes all day, I'd also probably be doing things to fuck them over.
Well, that's if her disdain was like, you fuckers pinched me in the arm,
like
demanding I get you a drink. I'm eating tuna.
I'm eating my fucking tuna because I'm not lifting a finger. That's a different attitude.
I would be all for it. My cousin is a flight attendant. She has been slapped before.
Right.
During COVID. She actually slapped because she said something about their mask, and the woman wound up, smacked her across. Like, I think she might have hit her, like, neck and it doesn't matter where she hit her. She hit her. Yeah. So I am all about the flight attendants for sure. But the whole fuck you because you eat fast food, like, that's I wish, like, that's the part I have a problem with. There's such a weird culture of like superiority. Like, I eat better, so I'm better than you. I eat tuna in a can I eat tuna on the flight while you ate fast. Like, first of all, it's a freaking airport. There's not that many options. So if you're going to be judgmental, it's probably not the place to do it. Plus, at the expense of food, like, girl, you know how expensive it is there. Why people don't want to pay, $40 for a sandwich in a little box? Like, give me a break. But the superiority complex of so many of these fitness people is a little beyond me. Like, there's such a disdain for people that I just don't understand. And I also don't understand, like, there's so many assumptions made about everybody else. Again, assuming that, like, it's unhealthy people who eat fast food just because they don't like the tuna smell. Like, that's such a huge jump. But also it's just like, do you think you're better than people? Like, clearly, like, you're better just because you do a cleaner protein. is that
Mhm.
you're maybe not the person I want to be the flight
Right.
attendant. She's
Right.
like, skinny people off the plane
Yeah.
first.
What did and that's why there are certain like nutrition people that I follow and
Mhm.
that I think are so healthy about it, like in a good way. Like
I love it.
like Andy does healthy,
Sure.
is great. Liam, I don't know if you follow him. He does the cottage cheese stuff a lot of times, but he talks about like the he's
Probably.
great.
I've probably
I
seen
hope
it.
he's great. If I always mention whenever I always get scared when I mention people,
I
he
know.
seems so
He killed a
wholesome and
guy.
nice. And then, oh no, I forgot
Just
about that.
joking.
No. But like there's certain creators that I just like I love
Yeah.
because they teach you having a healthy relationship with food.
I
And
love
they talk
it.
about whole wellness and all those kind of good things. That's great.
Sure.
It's the people that are like, you fuckers are eating seed oil or whatever. I don't. Is seed oil bad or good? I don't. That's
Yeah.
bad to them, right?
Yeah, I think
I don't
they
even
do hate
know
seed
half the
oil.
time. Yeah.
I
Or
think.
you guys are shoving poison
You
down
gluttonous
your.
poison
Yeah.
eaters.
I had a friend that is fell deep into that pipeline that I posted on my private Instagram
Mhm.
a picture of my kids at Happy Meals that we got them because
Oh, they
and
better
she was like,
not.
you know, she was like, I cannot believe you of all people are giving your children McDonald's. I was like,
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? Because let me tell you something. Let me tell you
Tell me,
something.
tell
Have you
me.
seen that when he's like
Yeah.
supposed to? There's like a viral meme gif where the guy's like about, isn't he about to like jump, do like skydiving or something?
I think that's what it is.
Or
Yeah,
bungee
yeah.
jumping. It's like, let me tell you something. Sorry, that was just in my head. Like, it's the same. The people who will do shit like that, are the same people who like I was around on we just got back from a trip, which is why we were not there. We didn't have an episode the week before because I was on a trip. Anyways, this mom literally had looked like definitely like a granola-y person.
Mm.
She had like 4 kids in the water, and when she and this child like went to a bathroom-esque area, she was gone for 15 minutes with 4 kids in the water. I'm like,
hmm
but we were there. We wouldn't have let a kid drown,
Yeah, of
obviously.
course,
I
of
guess
course,
that was
yeah.
her assumption. I
Yeah,
guess she was assuming.
somebody will take care of them.
But it's like they'll do that shit. It's like they'll be like, "Don't you dare eat a seed oil!" But I'm
Yeah.
gonna throw my kids in a lake and just wish the best for them. Like,
It's also exposing the measles while we're at it. Like, that'll be good for them, right? That's healthier than.
yeah, we have strong viewpoints on this, but
yeah.
my point is like they're picking and choosing. Like, someone could be skeletal. That they're not healthy. Like they could be deficient in all areas, and there could be someone who has more weight on their body
Right.
and is healthier. Like literally, you don't know. And there's just this whole idea of like superiority because of weight and health. It's such it's strange concept to me. I do not understand it. Like you put your body like. Sometimes it's even like you torture your body, like the way you work out, like, but you think you're better. I definitely don't think this is an attitude I would want from a flight attendant. And again, this is all like, girl, maybe people don't like your stinky fish that you're eating. Like, maybe it's not this culture war between
Judging me
fitness
for
and
being healthy.
yeah, maybe they're just like, oh, girl. Like, clearly, you talk about all the time, like how when things are too specific, that clearly they've happened.
Yeah.
Like, girl, I feel like a lot of people on your flights have been like, oh, what is that smell?
Yeah.
And you're like, it's health.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell, learn. All
Why'd
right,
you-
learn.
Are you straight from BK? How was McDonald's?
It must be what you only eat. That's all you ever eat. Poison, seed oil nuggets.
Do you know they never deteriorate? Which, like, actually might be true.
Yeah. Did you know Jack in the Box actually used to make burgers out of murdered people?
I mean,
didn't know
any
where to go
food
with-
is made of, if it's got meat, with
Soylent
something was
Green.
murdered.
Did you know that you eat Soylent Green and I eat tuna fish? Tuna green? I don't know.
Yikes. Anyways, I thought that was a really fascinating the plot twist of her being the flight
Being the-
attendant. I was like, oh my God.
That's the most relatable part of it is like, yeah, fuck these people.
Like,
Having said that, no, I agree with you.
it's just so I think we've got to be able to find a middle ground. Like I said, I think kids should be able to be in spaces. I don't think I think I told the story where there was a little girl stabbing people with forks on a plane. I don't think that should happen. Like,
Mhm.
we have to find a middle ground. But yeah, the attitude, like, God, I would hate it if she was my flight attendant.
Yeah,
She would be
it's
hating
really
me.
hard for me to take a stance against someone that's worked in like a service industry.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
normally I'm like, and that's the joke I keep making is like
Yeah.
normally it takes a lot before I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, yeah. That one's a little rough. It has nothing to
Yeah.
do with the flight attendant. I would be absolutely nice to her as I, eat fries from my Burger King bag. She's like,
You're just crying.
you don't get,
I'm hungry.
she's like, you don't get a life vest. It doesn't matter where it is. Under your seat, you don't get any. You should have thought of that before you brought that filth on my
Specifically,
plane.
the oxygen mask.
holds it back.
She's holding yours up on there
Not today.
while shoving tuna behind her.
She's like, sorry, no air for you. Anyways, do you want to do one next?
Sure. I got one I thought was an interesting thing to talk about.
Oh Jesus.
Here, I'm gonna play it. It's more so I think it would be an interesting discussion to have
Okay.
on here because there were a lot of guys that were angry in the comment section of this
Oh,
one.
we love it.
So here, make sure we can hear it. Let me turn the volume up.
I think guys that have a lot of game, it's harder for them to actually get in real relationships.
Yes, I
Because
agree.
women don't trust them.
100%.
The woman won't take them serious because it's like, no, you be fucking. You know what I mean? Like, you are like way too fly, way too like good looking. You're so good with your words. Like, you have to have some flaws for women to feel safe around you.
Is that a white guy?
It was a white guy.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on, man.
White guy and a black woman.
Oh, come on. You be come
Yeah, I know.
on.
He
Stop
definitely.
it.
I can tell you. You'll see when you see the video. He looks like the kind of guy that would talk like this, though.
I don't think I would think that about him.
He also looks like he could be my little brother. Take that with a grain of salt. Yeah.
That's to me is such an obvious argument that like it's just like if somebody was a salesman, you would not trust them as much. Like it's just there's a difference between being like authentic and genuine and being able to date well, like having good experiences and being able to have girlfriend, boyfriends, whatever, and game. Which is, I have practiced this. I have a skill set.
I'm
Game,
a pickup artist, kind
yeah,
of.
it's game is in like we're
have
playing at something.
strategies that- yeah.
I don't want to be around anyone that's playing at it. Like you're trying to win. Like of course, women don't want to be around that because they recognize this is a practice skill. Game isn't just. That's why it's called game. It's not just being charming. It's not being personable. It's not just being funny. It's like, I have tried these lines. I have tried this way of behaving. Like, it works for me to get women. So, yeah, of course.
One of the best advice, I think, because I've had a lot of guys recently, all of a sudden, my male followers of guys wanting to actually ask me for advice has been shooting up, which I
Good
think
luck
is a
to
great
them.
sign. No, I know, well, but in a good
Just
way.
joking.
Like they're like, where they're like, hey, I want a relationship.
Help
I've
me.
been like, and no, honestly, but like, hey,
Yeah.
I've been listening to these other guys. It's not working, and and then they're finally there's guys that are. I think it's finally starting to get across that these red pill kind of like terrible podcasts aren't actually teaching you how to be in a happy relationship.
Right.
Anyways, but they'll message me a lot of times and they'll say, well, should I do this? Should I do this? And it's always this like very specific. Well, when do I text back? And I'm like, this is not, but I'm not a relationship coach, right? That
Right.
is not, I don't claim to be a dating coach. I've never done, like, my whole point is like breaking down the misogyny in that underlies a lot of this advice that goes on there. But the one advice I have given though, is just like, look, if she likes you, whatever you do is going to be sweet, right? Like it's one of those like if you bring her flowers and she actually likes you, that's great. She's gonna be like, that was so sweet. If she doesn't like you and you bring her flowers, she's gonna be like, oh shit, why'd you bring me flowers? That's the only because that was a very specific thing somebody asked online. They were like, what do I like do? Am I not supposed to bring flowers anymore? Like because the last date he was on, someone looked at him like, what the fuck are you giving me flowers for?
Sure.
And I would say also, if you're meeting at the restaurant, probably flowers isn't the best because then they got a whole
What do
flowers
I do
all
with
night
them?
long. Yeah, I think that the idea of flowers on a date goes back to when you're picking her up from her house or her apartment, or
Right.
Because then she could leave it, and then you go on your like the modern way of dating where you usually meet somewhere
Hmm.
probably doesn't. Although I'm sure there's plenty of like I said, if she really likes you, if she was into
Right.
you, it would still be like that's a very sweet gesture.
Yeah.
But I think this goes back to like when I was in college, when I was dating, I did not have any game. This is gonna shock you. Like when I met my wife,
What?
I know I was the most, and this is back to being undiagnosed autistic, I think too. Also, I'm not good socially with people.
Mm.
Like and it's in situations where I'm not prepared for or where I
Yeah.
don't know somebody, it's very difficult for me. A couple things that I found out that are completely related to me being autistic, that helped me on dates is one, I like I said, there was no facade. It was just like, here's everything.
Let me start with my earliest trauma.
Yeah, take it or leave it. And it was
Yeah.
not, there's a difference between that versus, I know there's like strategies now behind like trauma dumping. It's just
Oh, yeah,
really
it's gross.
dreadful.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference between that and just being open. I'm like, this is me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm dumb, right? I use the word dumb again. So I would go on dates, and I was this is the thing I didn't even realize was a problem in the dating scene right now, where women, I saw some women talking about how they'll go on dates, and the guys don't ask a single question the entire time, versus my special interest has always been people.
Right.
And so I always had, but I didn't understand, it didn't make sense to me because I'm bad at small talk, but I was great at first dates.
I love
Like
questions.
because I was like, tell me more about that. And they would be like, they would start talking about it. I'm like, oh my, and it's not a game. Because I didn't have it. I was genuinely fascinated because I like this person. And I'm like, tell me more about this. You like this activity? What's that? I've never done that before. What's that like? Where do you do it? And that was apparently that's a very uncommon thing, apparently, to be interested in the person you're dating.
Well, I think that's the difference too, is like realizing what game means to the other person, which is like there's a difference between what you're describing, which is I have a general interest in you. I'm asking questions. I want to get to know you. And the opposite being game, which is like I have a goal. I want to sleep
Right.
with you, or I want to be
Right.
with you. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to use these lines. I'm going to use, like, I'm going to say things that to you feel genuine and in the moment, but that I've rehearsed, practiced, and used before. And so you just have to think of it as like, if you knew, like, take it out of a romantic relationship. If you knew that, like, say it was your friend, like a couple months into the friendship, they're like, yeah, I just pretended to like everything that you liked. And I've actually like said all these things, like none of that was real. That was all rehearsed. I've been manipulating you. I've been lying to you, but like we're friends now.
Right.
So it's all good. You would obviously have some hesitation with that person. Like, okay, well, you were willing to lie to me. You manipulated me. You made me think this was special, but it wasn't. Like, I don't trust that you're genuine. I don't trust, like, the bond that we had was built off of lies and manipulation. So of course, like, I feel like it's bizarre if people act like they don't understand why that's a problem. If someone is saying I manipulated you, I lied to you, my goal was this, and I did whatever it took to get there, like of course you're gonna have issues trusting that person. Like,
And I think it's the guys that are acting like they're like it does work. It because if you bought so far into this game pickup strategy thing that you've devoted how God knows how many hours to quote unquote perfecting it, you can't ever admit like accept that it's also such a weird self-own.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the idea of like, no, this works because if I were to ever like just be myself, they'd hate it.
Well, also, what comes from that? Because you can't do it forever. It's not
No,
game
yeah.
forever, right? Like you supposedly win based off of whatever practice thing you've done. Then what? Like you're not going to be able to carry that on. Like you're not going to be able to continue that. Eventually, you go off book, and what do you have if you're basing it off of game rather than personality? You're in trouble. And we see that, right? Like where people will have quote unquote game through dating apps or through text exchanges. Like I remember back in the day this happening and then meeting them in person and you're like, oh, you can't do this in real life. Like,
I bet you there's a lot of people also filtering their text through like AI
Sure.
and stuff now. Yeah, I can't even imagine how bad it is right now.
I know I'm so glad that I'm not in the dating world, but it's it's tricky because like even if you do have game up into a certain point, like that only gets you so far. People don't want a relationship with that. Like there's no
They fell
depth
in
to be
love also
had.
with this caricature that you've
Right.
created. That, like, to your point, that when they actually do get to meet you as a person, they're like, well, where's this? That's not who I fell in love with,
Right. And there's
or that's not who I was lusting after, even.
and like then who you are, how do you put that into the mix? How are you authentically yourself while still having the game of a persona that's not actually you? I don't think you can do both. And then like people aren't in fulfilling relationships. These dudes aren't in fulfilling relationships and they're like, "Ah, women suck." It's like, "No, you were not being yourself." Like if you're putting out something that's not who you really are, you're going to match up with someone who's not a good match for you. They're going to match the persona rather than your personality. And then you're going to be upset because it goes wrong, but of course it's going to go wrong because they didn't love you. They loved this fake character you were playing. And so it's like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy and never-ending cycle with these guys where it's like, yeah, the game's great, but women suck. It's not the game that's the problem, it's women because I get them and then they don't stay. It's like, yeah, because you're not being a real person.
And I can't stress enough how clumsy every step of my relationship with my wife was. My first kiss was so awkward, was the least smooth thing. I think it might have been, even for me, the least smooth, but she liked me, so it was cute, right? So that she was more, the first time I said I love you was so badly, like, it was not like this beautiful moment of us looking into each other's eyes. It was me stumbling through, accidentally saying it on a phone call, like, because I'd been thinking about it so much. And then but it was, once again, you like the person, then that ends up being an endearing moment between you.
And also, like, I don't hate to break it to you, but like lesbians have great game too. I've known many trans people with crazy game, like across, like non-binary, like across the gender spectrum. People have game, like they have the ability. In fact, there's a culture of lesbians having really good game, but then not being like not staying, like not being great partners, but like. So game as a whole isn't something that's new. And I think like most people that use it in that way, I'm not talking about personality. I'm not talking about being like funny or charming. I'm talking about literally like I say these lines to get with girls or women. That's what I do.
The breadcrumbing
The strategy. Yeah. It's
the whole, yeah.
It basically, it has nothing to do with them as a person. Like no move you make has to do with them. It's all about like your strategy. But we hear this much more from men. We hear the anger, the frustration, and it's sold more, like literally sold more, like as in there's dating coaches teaching it. It's just interesting that men get more upset than
I think the
others.
reliance, the reason you see this in male dominated spaces a lot more though too is I think has to do with the dating app culture too, and the fact that like 80% of people on the apps are men, and like the reality is, it's the best advice still to meet somebody is to find hobbies that with other people, go to events that you're actually interested in, and meet people, take classes and things, like actually human interaction. And I think because I'll hear guys talking about like, I went on 4 dates, and it was like, but they all went terrible and blah blah. I was like, God, I don't know how many dates. I didn't have like terrible first dates, like any tragic, but I went on tons of dates. It's this idea of like, well, I wanted her and I can't have that one.
Right.
I was like, that's been around forever. You date to find someone you like.
You know what I heard that was interesting, and I don't remember where I heard it from, which is annoying. There was a woman online, and she was talking about the fact that a lot of men want rules rather than understanding consent. So like it's dependent on the situation, just like the flowers. That was a great example. Like whether or not someone likes flowers depends on the situation, right? Whether or not a girl would want a hug. Like if you had a great first date and she was giving you body language that she's interested and she's leaning in and you want to give her a hug, that's different than if you had a shit first date and she can't wait to get away from you and you try and hug her. But they want the rule. They want you to say, well, can I do hugs on a first date or not? Can I kiss on a first date or not? Can I do flowers? Rather than understand or seeking to understand the complexity of consent in the moment and seeing women as people. Like they just want you to throw out rules. And you see this all the time because to your point, like men will ask, it's like rule based. Like, well, is this okay? Is this not okay? And it's like, you can't set like rules that way. Every single woman is different. There's some rules that I think across the board probably are good. Like, don't
consent.
ask. Yeah, consent. Like, don't say, "Are you going to sleep with me when you meet someone?" You know, like there are some things I think you could probably say with confidence across the board work, but it's like there's intricacies and differences with every single woman, every interaction, and I found it quite fascinating as she was talking about it. Is like it is very much like, no, I just want to know what the rules are, and then I'll follow the rules, and then people will sleep with me, and then I'll get with the girl, rather than like, that's not life. That's not how it goes. Every person is different. You could have guidelines, you could have suggestions, but there's no hard and fast rule. And like, you do see how upset certain men get with that. They want you to just tell them like, this will work every time. And it's just interesting. It's like consent is it's complicated. It can change in a moment. It can be a yes, and then it can be a no. And like, it's like, just for anything. I don't even mean sexually. It's just like anything, like if someone likes you or not, or like, you know, like if the date's going to continue, like there may be a point at which you realize there's not chemistry, and that person doesn't want to stick around. You know, I think sometimes they just want the black and white of it. And it showcases their mindset with women. I think that it's like rules and game and all these other things rather than like the woman and like the situation.
There's a level that I understand that frustration of like not knowing what to do, right? Like not wanting to. And I think like it's a lot easier obviously now in hindsight years later to be like just let, you know, because heartbreak sucks, you know, getting your heart falling for someone sucks, but it's the difference between that sucks versus like the entitlement culture of like, but I deserve this. I did the rules, right? I did the things I'm supposed to be doing. Now she's supposed to be with me.
Right.
Like there's no reason why she wouldn't like me. Sometimes she doesn't like you because they just don't click, right?
Yeah.
Like there's just, you don't have to, and that's like people stay in relationships because they're like, well, they're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't actually love them. I don't feel anything for them, but they didn't break any rules that were,
ding.
You know,
that was me dating forever. I get it. Like I get frustration. Like like even when these guys, not the ones who are saying crazy shit, but just like talking about how hard it is. Like I totally understand that. I get how frustrating it is. I get that it's hard knowing what to do, when to do it, knowing like in the moment, like what's the right thing. But that is the nature of dealing with another human being. That is what dating is. It is hard. It is challenging. There is no set of specific rules that'll work every time, but that's because you're dealing with a person. Like, and that's the part that I think is lost on some people, which is like, this is a human being who also has their own wants, needs, and desires, their own goals, what they want. And like, if people focused more on reading and understanding other people, like to your point way back, the curiosity of it all, like if you were more curious about the women you were with and asking them questions, getting to know them, they'll tell you what they like. You know what I mean? I in my experience, people do tell you what they want if you ask. And it's like, if we focus more on body language and, I mean, simple body language, like you can feel if someone's interested versus not interested usually. But if we focus more on that and like paying attention to the partner that you're with rather than this weird fixed set of rules you want to have, like these men would be so much more successful. Like if they worked on their like emotional, like their emotional intelligence essentially. Like, God, this would be so much easier for them. Like if they spent half the time they do trying to figure out the rules and have game, just like understanding how to relate to people.
But, and I think that's maybe it's also the approach of why they're going into the date already deciding that this person is, they don't really care who this person is because the idea of this person is what they're after. I want this one. I've decided this is the one I want.
Yeah, right.
And so versus like I approached every first date like, and every relationship and everything. I was like, all right, let's figure this out. Do we click? I want to know,
Right.
are we good for each other? Do we mesh, as opposed to how can I impress you?
Mm-hmm.
All right, what do I need to do? What are the buttons I need to press
Right.
to win this date?
Yeah.
Right. And it's this competitive aspect of this thing to show off so you can have something as opposed to actually looking for someone that you actually have a connection with.
It's so interesting because when I dated men, like I'm an odd case for a lesbian because like I dated a ton of men and I did really well with men. You know, like I'm not bragging. I was so great with men. But like that's why some people in my life when I came out were like, "What? What do you mean?" And then other
Yeah.
people were like, "Oh yeah, for sure." No shit. But but my point is that when I would date men, like my feeling was always like they would pick pieces of my personality they liked, which I have so many interests. I have so many like, some would be like, oh, she likes to play video games. That'll be the thing. Or, oh, she's funny. And we like to joke. Like it would be like comedy, or it would be like when I did improv, it would be that we both improvise. Like they would just pick a portion of me that related to them. And then they're like, this is what I like and everything else is fine.
Hmm.
But like when I was with my wife, for example, it was like, oh, what's important to you about you? Like what do you love about yourself? Like she would come to my shows, like one of the most badass, like literally I could swoon right now. She came to see my show and then I can't remember if we went on a date. I can't remember if it was directly after or a little bit after, and she quoted my own play to me in conversation, like verbatim. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll marry you right now. but that's because she was interested. She was curious. She retained literally word for word my play because she cared about what I was doing. And like she saw me as a whole person and that she was compatible with me versus I have this thing I want. If you hit enough notes, I'll just be cool with the other parts. And I think there's a difference there. Like how I look at everybody as like a whole. Like I'm interested in all parts of them because that's how I know who they are. I don't just like pick my favorite parts and then say, oh, that's good. That'll be fine.
And I think it's the problem is you have this pickup culture, these dating coaches that weaponize genuine things that good people do in relationships and do try to gamify them into, like, love bombing is a good example of this,
Oh,
where like that sometimes you just really like a person, right? And like my wife is a good example of this, where when we started dating, it was like a week or two before she started being the lead in Thoroughly Modern Millie. And I've
she
talked
would.
and she was great, right? And so I
I
went
have
to
no
opening
doubt.
night, and I didn't realize I was part of performance community, but not in theater community at that point. And I didn't realize that typically you bring flowers in opening night, and I felt so shitty because everyone had flowers, and I was like, oh
Oh shit.
no.
Yeah.
I didn't do this. And once again, a lot of the stuff I always look back, I'm like, my autism is going to show right here. But like, and so I went the next night with big bouquet of flowers, and then every single show I went to, I brought her
Yep.
flowers, which I didn't even click in my head that wasn't normal at that point. I
We've
thought I
gone
was like,
abnormal.
but then it got to the point where I was like, well, she should get flowers every night. She's the lead. She's Millie, right? She should. And so every
She
night
would
I
be
show
great
up,
in that role too.
she's wonderful. I'll show you. We have video of it.
Oh my God, send it to me. Okay,
Or at least
off the podcast.
some of the songs, yeah. But I would show up, and I didn't have enough money to buy a ticket every night, but I wanted her to have flowers as the lead every night. So I'd show, and flowers are pretty cheap. Like you can buy like a cheap bouquet. And so I would show up, and then the stage manager saw me there the second night, and she was like, "Are you here for the show?" I was like, "No, can you just bring these back to my then girlfriend?" And the stage manager was like, "Well, you don't have tickets." I was like, "Well, I can't. They're like expensive."
Yeah,
And she
yeah.
was like, okay, hold on. And she gave me a seat. The next day I showed up. I was like, hey, can you bring these? She was like, are you buying? Do you? And I was like, I don't. And she was like, so she after like the fourth time this happening, she just gave me tickets to the rest of the run. And so I got to go so I got to watch 37, 38 shows of Thoroughly Modern Millie.
I'm gonna throw up. That all of
And I
that
brought
is
her
so sweet.
and that was the case for the next like 2 years of our relationship when she was still doing play before we moved and kind of moved on from the theater aspect. We don't ever move on from theater, but when every single show she was ever in, I went to every single show and brought her flowers to every single show she was in because she deserved flowers. But that would be like I shared that story with somebody. Like, oh, was that like love bombing? I was like, no, I just fucking loved her.
It was not a bomb. It was just love.
I just liked her and thought she
That's
deserved
so
flowers.
sweet, Chesko. I'm gonna scream.
But that's it. And so people would like you have these intricate people that will see something like that and be like, all right, how can I use this to then trick a woman into all those kind of things. Yeah.
Well, that's how game works, though. Like it's like you try something, it works out. I know I've talked about this before, but I'll say it really quickly. The guy, this guy, he was a friend. So there was one guy that I liked, and then his friend, liked me. We'll call the friend that liked me Jay. That's not his name, but he like took me on a kidnapping date, basically. I think I've told you this, where like he's like, let's go for a drive. I used to go for drives all the time back then because it was cheap and you and your friends could listen to music. And so I was like, oh yeah. So I was like, but I don't want to go anywhere. I was literally in sweats. I looked a mess, and he's like, oh yeah, we're not going anywhere. And then where does he take me? He drives me to a movie, and he wants to go see Date Night, the movie. And I was like, we said this without a date. And he's like, no, it's cool. I'll pay for you. And even though I said no, he did anyways. Okay. So it was this whole thing. And then, which I was like, I just want to go home now because I don't like you. And I've told you this. Like there was no gray area. I did not like this guy. Anyways, we were leaving, and he like pulls the car into the parking lot, a different parking lot. And I'm like, well, what's happening? And then he opens the door and he starts playing salsa music or merengue. I can't remember. And he's like, come dance with me. I'm like, no.
I don't know if this is a pre-show story or it was in a podcast story. But
oh my God. It was, I can remember every detail of this because I was like, get me out of here. I was wearing flip-flops and he's like, no, dance with me. And I was like, dude, Jay, I don't want to do this. He's like, basically we was not going to leave until I did it. So I get out of the car, dance with him, whatever. Eventually, I dated the friend and not him, which I said was the case. And he Venmo'd me demanding money for said date. Anyways, that's not the point. But I was telling somebody this happened because I was like, oh, I can't believe he did this to me. And this girl was like, oh my God, he did the same thing to so-and-so. So he had habit of driving women into parking lots. And he was an okay dancer. So... No, he wasn't that good of a dancer. The other guy was a better dancer, if I'm being honest. But it was enough that like he thought that was his thing. Yeah. So he would take women and force them to dance in parking lots, which sounds really nefarious. But like it was, it's like if I would have liked him, which I didn't, but if I would have, I would have been like, oh, what a cool moment. Like that was a really fun, cool spur of the moment thing that happened. Right. And the truth would be there's like nothing about that was like spur of the moment. Like that was 100% planned. And there's so many, well, any gender can do it, but a lot of men, are actually told to do it. And that's crazy to me, which is this, just like faking these moments rather than having them organically. Like you could have them organically. You could find what a woman likes and then plan accordingly. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to put that much time and effort into the woman. So they just like will redo these same things over and over and hope for a positive outcome, which Jay did not get. I will tell you that.
On that note, I have to go pick up my kids from summer camp.
Oh, shoot. Okay. There we go.
Where can people find us, Reagan?
Well, you can find us on our YouTube page, which you might want to do this week so you can see, you can see the cute little golden girl finger puppets that Chesko has acquired. You can also find us on our social media. We have the F the Nice Guy page, which is on Instagram and TikTok. We have Chesko's page, the Speech Prof. We also have the Miss Break Me and the Manhater page. We have the Regan Reacts YouTube page. Is that all the pages?
Fine. Look at it in the show notes. It's all there.
Look at the show notes. Make sure to check out the Patreon where we tell crazy stories that are absolutely unhinged. And other than that, friends, we will see you next time.
Bye. Love you.
I got some good advice for you.